Heat-related illnesses, or HRIs, specifically heat stroke in firefighters from excessive heat exposure, has been detrimental on the health of firefighters overall, resulting in cardiac arrest and death. According to a study by Kim et al. 2018, a nationwide survey showed that 74.8% of firefighters showed signs and symptoms of HRI, and 5% displayed these same symptoms over 20 times annually. Current cooling solutions for firefighters, such as smoke tents and traditional cooling vests, provide very limited relief and do not offer continuous personal cooling during intense operations, such as wildfires. Devices which use vasocooling mechanisms to prevent heat stroke through the carotid arteries are also not created to continually cool firefighters at extreme temperatures. My innovative concept/solution integrates a CO2-based cooling system within a backpack designed to deliver continuous cooling directly to the firefighter, focused on significant sections of the body, the carotid arteries, to lower the risk of exhibiting HRI symptoms. The backpack contains CO2 cartridges and a heat sink which synergistically circulate cool water through tubes embedded in the firefighter's suit. Temperature sensors on the neck connected to an Arduino controller regulate CO2 release, ensuring that the water is consistently cooled and effectively circulated throughout the tubes in the suit. This device could be implemented around the world and not just provide during the moment comfort to the firefighter, but reduce the risk of HRIs and mortality rate due to heat stroke in extremely hot climates. To mimic my design, I tested the rate of cooling using a waterproof thermistor inserted into a tube of water and a coolant fluid, which was ethanol. CO2 cooling was applied for 10 seconds and then the thermistor was monitored for temperature changes. It was found that water decreases temperatures at a faster rate, however its capacity to remain cool was a lot lower than the coolant. I also tested the rate of cooling using a waterproof thermistor taped to the heat radiator in my design. CO2 cooling was applied for 10 seconds and then the thermistor was monitored for temperature changes. It was found that the radiator decreases temperature at a very fast rate due to its metal structure, supporting its high viability in my device. The dot represents when the CO2 cooling was released. I also tested the rate of CO2 cooling using a waterproof thermistor taped to the top of the canister. CO2 was released for 5 seconds and the thermistor was monitored. It was found that the CO2 cooling decreases temperature at an average rate of negative 12.8 degrees Fahrenheit per second. If you look over here, this right here is a CAD design on how the device would work, fitting like a backpack. An internal temperature sensor would be waiting for the firefighter's inner temperature to hit 41 degrees centigrade, or dip below that, or rise above that, before initiating, at which point the CO2 regulator valve will be opened through my Arduino system. The released CO2 will cool the radiator metal and water will pass through tubing as it cools. This tubing will cool the carotid arteries, efficiently lowering the firefighter's inner temperature. As soon as their inner temperature dips below 41 degrees, the valve will close, saving energy and coolant. The demographic age group we aim to assist would include people from around 25 to 50 years old who are firefighters of any race, income range, or education level. It is key that they are able to hold the backpack without any struggle, which we have intentionally made very light. The target customer will have the motivation to use our device because of the fact that it can save them from various medical complications and potentially save their lives. This product will be used every time a firefighter goes into a fire and can be reused multiple times as long as the CO2 tank is replaced after each usage. Each CO2 tank should have around 26 to 30 minutes of constant cooling. The production costs are very inexpensive, totaling around $157.66 after mail-in state tax per product, and considering how often it can be reused, this can be sold at around a 10% profit at $175. Thank you so much.